right? Worries. So the desires are never ending, okay? We have a lot of desires. So and then teachers say we have to slowly clean them all up, all right? So that's not going to help us to go to heaven. So teachers say the more desires we have, the less we will seek the truth. So we play and have fun so much, when do we have time to learn the Tao knowledge? We're looking for the truth and not the way to go back to the permanent heaven, all right? So teachers say, don't mind how sneaky and dishonest people can be, because surrounding we always meet nice people, and some people may not be so nice. No matter how sneaky or dishonest they are, that is their business. Do we have to treat them the same way? Okay, we have received Tao, so we present the Tao. So we cannot be like we don't think that it's good, and then we keep doing that. All right. So teachers say we should treat people with a true and sincere heart to touch and transform them. Okay, they can change and they can have a chance to go back to heaven. So hopefully all of us can give and do more for others. That's teacher want us to do. Okay. So Christy, my daughter, came over and said, "Hey, who is that?" Okay. And I said, he was the most handsome movie star, okay, 30 years ago. So such a handsome movie star, and he get old too, okay? And Christian said, I don't know this person. I said, fine, how about this one? She said, who is this? Who is this lady? I said, she was one of the most beautiful lady 30 years ago, okay? Again, she said she does not know her. But I said, oh, this is Elizabeth Taylor. Christine said, I heard this name, but I don't know this person. Again, very pretty, but become old and get sick and she died. So how about this one? Christine said, yes, I know him. This is Steve Jobs. Okay, he's a genius. He had an Apple company. That's why we have Apple computer, an iPhone, an iPad. He's very wealthy, earned a lot of money. But the last speech before he died, he said, at this moment, lying on a sick bed and recalling my whole life, I realized that all the recognition and the wealth that I took so much pride in have paled and become meaningless. So, this gives us the hints. The money is not everything. He's so wealthy, but at the end, he regrets. He did not go to the right direction. Okay? So, see, when he died, could he bring the iPad and the iPhone with him? No. Okay? The heaven don't use those things. So we can learn from them. Okay? Hopefully, the last moment, we don't feel regret. We did not do anything. Okay? So teachers say, don't take the outside looks too seriously, okay? All right? No matter being so pretty, handsome, or young, or so wealthy like Steve Jobs, it won't last forever and has no use. We all will die one day. That's true statement, right? Teachers say if one does not die now, one would die later still. Okay, that's the bitter seed. First, okay, and getting old, getting sick, and die. That's the formula. Everyone have to go through. So teachers advise, say, make good use of our useful energies and the time while we can, okay, not just play, okay? So how will we leave this earth? Okay, most people die from sickness. Even right now, the pandemic, and a lot of people got sick and die. And from a plane crash or car accident. And in a fight, when people fight, they die too, right? Etc. Okay? How do we leave the earth in a way that is worthy to belong to heaven? That is really, really important. Okay, we have to think about. So teachers say, don't abstract ourselves, but do cultivate well. Very important. Cultivate well. If one is alive now, it is not sure that he can live later. That's very true, right? We must grasp and cherish this life. Okay, the time is limited. Okay, our lifespan is not that kind of long. So calm ourselves and look around this world and how everyone is so busy. Busy for what? For fun, for money, So, but how quickly life passes by. That is very, very sad. Okay, let's look at the Turkey hit by second major earthquake recently. Hundreds of homes destroyed. Okay, let's look at this film. Really sad, right? Could you picture, Some people still there, at work or sleeping, and all of a sudden, the light is gone. Okay, you can see this picture. See, the sink, the kitchen sink still here. The sofa is still here. And a few seconds ago, it was a nice house. But all of a sudden, it's messy. A lot of people go there to help. And you can see this tiny space. This sister trying to protect her younger brother. Could you picture if we squeeze into this tiny space? It's so hard. And she has a loving heart. She does not care about herself. Instead, she tried to comfort her little brother, and they were trapped inside there for many hours. But did her parents teach her to protect the little brother at all? No. So what is that? That is so-called true nature or Buddha nature. Okay. So this rescuer, take out this 1-month-old baby girl. You can see her head was bleeding, and the left eyes was swollen, and bleeding also. So this rescuer kept crying. See, he said, when I first laid my eyes on her, I felt as if she were my own daughter. He was crying all the way, and he rushed, sent her to the hospital. So why is crying so hard? What is this? That is our true nature, Buddha nature. Okay. So teacher want us, of the saints come over. They want us to reveal our true self, our Buddha nature. We were from permanent heaven, everyone, long time ago. All right, our heart is so beautiful. Okay, but right now because of a lot of desire and the dirt cover it up, so we become selfish. Okay, and do bad thing too. Okay, so very important. When we cultivate doubt, we want to reveal our true self, Buddha nature. So in the meantime, some people the rescuer trying to save lives, but some other fake one or some rescuer, instead of dig out the people, they dig out the safe from the bank where there's 5 banks underneath. Okay, they ignore the body, nearby, and they are counting the money. Okay, and some people even took out the bracelets from lady's arm. That's really bad. Okay, and this guy, tried to grab valuable from the place. Okay, so the desire will strike us to do the bad thing. So the 3 poisons, saints keep telling us that will lead us to the hell. It's greedy, greed, anger, stubbornness, ignorance. Okay, so we have to check, do we have those things? We have to get rid of all of them. That's no good. Okay, so the earthquake, over 50,000 people die in earthquake in Turkey and Syria. That's really, really sad. Just like teachers say. And the second, the life vanished. So a lot of disaster around, everywhere, not just one country, all the countries. Okay, so one time we asked the teacher, what should we do? The teacher said, pray 10 times every day at noontime because that's positive energy. So he suggests us to pray world peace. May the world be saved. All living beings are saved. And saints also say, if everybody receives Tao, and we all reveal the true Buddha nature, the true self. Everybody's so kind and nice and help each other, the disaster will be gone. So for the first slide, teacher asked us, disciple, for what have you come to this world? Holy teacher's answer is this: to do something meaningful, okay? And to transform and help living beings cross the bitter sea of life and death, because we keep reincarnation and never end. And we have limited time here to create things that can be handed down to the future generations so they can learn it from, right? So heaven blessed us. If we naturally give and contribute often, heaven will not treat us unfairly and will give us even more, okay? Teacher did say if we do 30%, they will help out the other 70%. So let's go for it, okay? And do it sincerely, okay? And it will change our fate. All the hardship and the difficulties will pass sooner or later. See, change our fate. So for some people, this yin people can see it. They have the flakes, okay? The black flag when thunderstorm, sometimes they strike some people because previous life or this lifetime they did a bad thing. So the thunder strike on them. And the white one and the red and green, they are all no good. They did something bad, so heaven put those flags there. And the yellow flag is when we receive down. See, the Bible say the good people, heaven will mark them down. So where do you get the this mark down? You are the good people. That's because 3 lifetimes, at least 3 lifetimes. No matter we are Christian or Buddhism or which religion, if we doing the 3 lifetimes, we build enough good credit. This lifetime we have the chance to receive that. So heaven, will put the yellow flag on us. That means you are the good person, and heaven always, somebody will, next to us, okay, and protect us, okay, if we keep build up a merit. And when we receive that, this yellow flag is so tiny. When we ferry people, and do a lot of good deed, the yellow flag will become bigger and bigger. So look at this. Brother Zheng, he has 2 yellow flags. Why? The first one is because he received that. Okay? So heaven marked down he's the good person. And what does that mean when we receive that? That means we are the candidate of the saints and the Buddha. It depends on if we want to do whatever saints told us. Okay? And the second flag is because he made a vegetarian vow. So heaven gave him 2 flags. And vegetarian vow is very important too, because it's so kind that you're not going to kill the animal or eat them. So it's heaven think that is very important too. Okay? So when we receive that, heaven has the lotus flower palm. So when we receive that, each flower, that's present our position in the heaven. And, over there, they have a picture when we receive that, the day we receive that. And what day and which temple, okay, and the name, okay. And then when we have a lot of merit, like transmitter, very, and save so many people's soul, the flower is become bigger and bigger. And you see, some of the flower is not so big. Okay, the merit is not enough. and some even shrinking, and some become black and die. So let's do something. Don't let our flower, the lotus flower dying or shrink. Okay, we have this chance. So to go back to permanent heaven. Okay, so this present our future position. So let's work on that. So a lotus is planted in heaven as a Tao temple is set up on earth. So it's very important, okay? The temple, see, this temple before they set up everything, heaven already sent a big lotus flower to this temple. All right. So every time those who drive Tao members to the temple, the vehicles have heavenly lotus flowers. So many years ago, okay, at least 10 or 15 years ago, one of the Sunday, I was driving two elderly people to Miller Precious Temple to receive Tao from New Jersey. So I was driving on the highway to Holland Tunnel, okay? So while I was on the highway, I saw a big tire from nowhere, and it's very high in the sky, and it just warned me. I know, oh my God, I will get into big accident because it's look like it's going to hit my windshield. So I know it's terrible, and it's on the highway. I have a car behind me, and next lane, have car too. I cannot change the lane, and then this big tire, I just keep praying, please don't hurt these two elderly people because they are the grandparents of Christine, my daughter's schoolmate, classmates, grandparents. So they cannot get hurt. I knew I would get in big trouble, once the tire hit me. And you can picture while I was driving on the highway, the big tire, it was 45 degrees. It's supposed to hit my windshield, but instead it's become 90 degrees and dropped on the hook of my car. And you can picture I saw the big tire right in front of me, but I cannot stop my car. I couldn't see anything. I still keep driving. And it bounced on the hood and then dropped in the lane on the divider, concrete divider, the highway divider. And it's become 15 degrees. How could that be? It looked like somebody took it and put nicely on the side and did not bother my car and did not, bother the car, behind me. So it's a true statement when you drive Tao members to temple, you gotta have heavenly lotus flower, and they will protect you. Even the terrible, could be accident, but it will become smaller. Okay. And this car is maybe it's bigger, can take more people. So the lotus flower a little bit bigger. Okay. So again, don't be afraid. Okay. When you help heaven fair, and they will help us too. So what heaven would want us to do? We work for Tao with all our hearts. Okay, it's so important. This very rare chance. Because so many disasters is coming. That's why heaven give us the chance. The good people can go back to permanent heaven. All right. So we contribute money for living beings. That counts. Okay, that's our merit too. Or time spent helping Tao. Okay, that counts too. Or blood and sweat or effort to help it Tao. All right. And we use our strength in every respect for the joy of living beings. Okay, we convince people to become a vegetarian, so they don't have the bad karma with the animals. That's good too. Okay, and we ferry people. That's two ways to help people. Physically, they give give them the material, clothing, the food, that's temporary help. But if we ferry them, they have the chance to go back to permanent heaven. That's much more important, okay? So this is a Guanyin Buddha, okay? And this is Sakyamuni Buddha. And teachers say, why do saints deserve all respect and praise? And this is just 2 examples, okay? The teacher, they say, if you like Jesus or whoever you like, the saints, just pick them as an example and learn from them. And they are the same as, we are the same as them. We all receive Tao, the same Tao, okay? They receive the Tao, and we receive Tao too. And then cultivate Tao, they endure a lot of hardship, okay? And so when we have a hardship, that's the way we go even more, okay? So don't be afraid of the hardship. And when we encounter the hardship, we give up. Then we give up the chance to go back to permanent heaven. So compared to them, our hardship is really nothing. They really endure a lot of, people cannot take, that kind of hardships. Okay, and they realize Tao slowly. Okay, that's why we have to learn for. Okay, and propagate the Tao. Very important to ferry people, spread the Tao, and accomplish true enlightenment, and become the saint or Buddha. So we have a chance to become a saint or Buddha. Just depends on whether we want to do it or not, whether we want to learn or not. And 18 patriots say, spend 2 hours a day on holy matters is more than enough to become a Buddha. So do we want to spend 2 hours to watch TV, have fun, or to do something meaningful? It's nothing wrong to watch TV 2 hours, but just compare to if we do holy matters and 2 hours. Only 2 hours, 24 hours, only 2 hours. Okay, not so many hours. But if we can do more, that heaven counts. That's it's good thing. All right. So when we cultivate Tao, 3 things we never leave. Okay, first one, never leave the holy temple. What does that mean? The holy temple, first one, physical, temple. Don't leave the temple because that's the place we can learn about a lot of the knowledge to go back to heaven. And the deep meaning is everybody has a temple inside. Okay, the temple 3 lamps is on our body too. Our true nature, Buddha nature, is the middle lamp. Okay, I present to the God, and our 2 eyes is 2 lamps, the front in the temple. Okay, so always do things according to our Buddha nature. Beautiful heart. Okay, so we will not do wrong. Okay, always help other people, help ourselves too. Second one, never leave the virtuous and wise Tao members. Why? Because those the virtuous, wise Tao members, they know what level we are at. Okay, they have the willing to help us, and they know how to go back to permanent heaven. So we can all learn together. Okay, and never leave the holy teachings, scriptures, sutras. Why? Because that ancient time and right now, since they write down how they become saints, how do they go back to permanent heaven. So we study and follow them. Okay, that's the way to go back to permanent heaven. Okay, so they try to live something meaningful and useful for us to learn, for the future generation to learn. Okay, so this is like a traffic light. We are at the yellow light, the earth. Why we stay here? We still not in the heaven. Okay, why? Because we have a lot of desires. We have too much fun. We stuck in this reincarnation forever and never break through. Okay, so this is the moment we have to think. How should we spend our life? Okay, the lifetime is limited. Don't wait until the last minute, like Steve Jobs regrets, at the last minute. Okay, so if we let desire guide us, and so greedy, it will lead us to do bad things and go to hell. Okay, and normally a lot of good people are wrong if they don't receive Tao. Okay, and for example, they sacrifice themselves and they save other people or do a lot of good deeds. They go to temporary heaven. Might be 100 years, might be 1,000 years. Okay, but us, 3 lifetimes, no matter which religion, we already built up 3 lifetimes, a lot of merit. That's why this life we can receive Tao. Okay, and with a lot of merits and credits, we have the chance to go back to permanent heaven. And who is living there? God and the 5 religions, and a lot of Buddha, and they all live there. And whoever cultivate very well in the white period, Tao members, they cultivate very well. They live there. Okay, so this is the only chance because it's past so many years ago. It's not easy to receive Tao. Okay, this is the only chance we can break through the reincarnation cycle and go back to permanent heaven. So that's the purple light. So we want to go to purple light. Okay, not green light or the red light. Okay, so we are at the earth, the yellow light. So let's all work together to go back permanent heaven. So the conclusions, we are very fortunate to receive Tao. Okay, cultivate and propagate Tao. All right, that's a very rare chance since ancient time. Okay, we want to bring those people who have affinity with Tao, Buddha, and all of us to receive Tao, to join our Tao journey. So they have the chance to go back to permanent heaven too. Okay, so go back to our original home, that's permanent heaven together. Okay, especially our family, our parents. Okay, eventually we all want to live in a permanent together. So don't forget them, and our kids too. Okay, and the friend, whoever we know, try to bring them back, because more and more disaster come. So we have to save people. Okay, so hopefully, not hopefully, we have to. Okay, we help each other and cultivate and achieve in one lifetime. This lifetime, because next lifetime we don't know if we have chance to receive Tao and cultivate Tao at all. So wish everybody can achieve the Buddhahood, become a Buddha and a saints. All right. If I say anything incorrectly, I ask for heaven's forgiveness and the transmitter and all of you to correct me. Thank you.
Thank you, Teacher Xu. Anyone here has any questions?
Chair, I would like to add some comment to this chart. For all of us, animal and human being, you see this dot line, the chart there, the table there. Those are between this universe, temporary heaven, and underworld, the hell. We are in the bitter seat. Buddha called bitter seat. That means we are in reincarnation, because we couldn't get out from this dot line, reincarnation. So that's why when we receive the Tao blessing with a lot of merits or credit and virtues, then we are able to go back to our permanent heaven, which we came from originally. We are all Buddha. in heaven, in permanent heaven. But however, we came down to this earth we have a mission in this earth. But if we don't receive that blessing, what happened to us? Okay, we had to go to, you can see here, underworld, the hell, to get the judgment. And it depends on how much karma, bad karma we had, how much merit we had. So we decided we have to pay back here first. Then do we reborn as an animal or do we reborn as a human being? Only a few of them can go to become saints and Buddha in temporary heaven. But for those went to become saints and Buddha in temporary heaven, only about 300 or 500 times for them to be there. Then they have to be reborn again. They have to reborn again. So we are very fortunate and lucky for all of us to be able to receive that blessing and get out from this Buddha called bitter seed to avoid reincarnation. Reincarnation means birth, death, and rebirth. So we are able to go back to permanent heaven. But we need a lot of merits and virtues. Okay, so we are very lucky group. We are very fortunate to be here. So don't waste this lifetime. We have a chance to become saints in lifetime, in this life. No matter how many karmas we have in last 60,000 years already, but we have opportunity to become saints and Buddha in this lifetime. Thank you, everybody.